Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today is the first episode of a new series that I like to call
What's on the Shelf
with Jerry.
Ba-dum-dum.
Now this series is a pretty broad spectrum. Basically, I can talk about anything that has been on a shelf at some point. So books, movies, VHSs, DVDs, basically, anything really. Huh. Crazy. So on to today's topic. The film we're going to be discussing today is one that has been on my shelf for a long time, about 2 years, and well, that was up until I bought it off of the clearance shelf at Best Buy. I saw it sitting there and I said, well, I've got to buy this. And the film I bought that day was Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever. Now, you may be asking yourself, Jared, I didn't know Grumpy Cat had a movie. I didn't know Grumpy Cat was up on the big screen with her name in lights. Well, that's because this is a Lifetime movie. That's right. The studio that brought you such hits as Abby Lee Miller and Terribly Fake Uncle Jesse. Ah, yes, Lifetime produced this meme-infused abomination. So why don't we pop this baby in and see what Grumpy Cat has in store for us this wacky holiday season.
Dancing, dancing's what I need.
He's moving.
Dancing, dancing, hold my
He's grooving.
let me see your face. Dancing.
And now, for the first time ever, he's starring in his very own movie.
Who are you? Oh, I'm Gummy Bear! Hit it!
Oh, I'm a gummy bear. Yes, I'm a gummy bear. Oh, yeah.
Well, that was unexpected. And I've just got one question for that bear. November 13th came and went, and there was still no sign of the Gummy Bear album in stores on November 13th, with lots of music, videos, and extras. But you had time to make this Pixar-quality film? Well, let me tell you something, Gummy Bear. You lost a valuable fan today, okay? And if you hear purring right now, that is my cat sitting on my lap. He really likes Grumpy Cat. So after the Gummy Bear commercial, and a Medea Christmas commercial, and a couple other cheesy ads, we finally get to the main menu. So let's get into the meat of this flick. In association with Grumpy Cat Limited, what? Oh, there's a puppet. So it is immediately evident when this film starts that they're going for like a 40-year-old man writing a movie about memes sort of thing. It feels really relevant as they right off the bat use this bottom text meme format.
Deck the halls, deck me in the face.
I wouldn't be surprised if later we got a cameo from Trollface. Oh yeah, and Grumpy Cat is voiced by Aubrey Plaza for some reason. My cat really doesn't like that. Very loud. Very loud, boy. To the film's credit, though, I think it's kind of self-aware. I think?
Who saves the world and who doesn't look like a puppet.
But now that we have that out of the way, let's get into the story. So, we're introduced to where Grumpy Cat lives, which is a rinky-dink pet shop in a mall, and we are quickly introduced to all the other pets in this mall. We've got a talking dog, a snake, a British parrot.
I'm well-bred and well-read. I can even talk. Hands in the air, sucker!
And a mouse thing. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really could not tell if it was a rat, a mouse, or a gerbil, or what. I just know it was a thing. I'm gonna have to get him out of here. He's just gonna, purr the whole time. Oh, I can't. I can't do it. I can't. Okay. Looks like we're just gonna deal with the purring. So anyway, they're all just hanging out, being talking animals and such, until this big dog comes in talking about how cool he is. But that's not really important at the moment. What is important is this mall guy comes in and tells the guy who owns the pet store that he's gonna evict him.
Because you haven't met your financial obligations in a timely manner and I'm going to evict you?
But don't worry though, The guy's got a plan. His plan is to market the hell out of Grumpy Cat, which is pretty meta, I guess. But you know, this plan is scratched. It's scratched because Grumpy Cat has seemingly no talent. So the new plan is the guy's gonna market the hell out of the dog, because guess what? This dog is worth $1 million.
He just happens to be the most expensive Leon burger in the world.
Let that sink in, kitty cat.
And the mall guy says, wow, that's a great plan, and leaves. So then we meet this little girl who the movie quickly lets us know is...
Second billing behind me. Aubrey Plaza as Grumpy Cat.
Get it? It's funny because she broke the fourth wall. Ha ha. Funny. Fourth wall break. Aubrey Plaza. And you better get used to the fourth wall breaks because 75% of the jokes in this film are just fourth wall jokes. Grumpy Cat is basically Deadpool in this movie. And because of this, you can really tell that the writers did not have the capacity to write jokes because it seems the only joke they know is how to break the fourth wall. Okay, I can't take it anymore. He's going to sleep over here. Here he is. Okay. He's still purring, but maybe he'll stop in a minute. So anyway, this little girl's name is Crystal. And Crystal knows everyone in the mall personally. So she's walking through the mall, saying hi to everyone, you know. And she runs into her mom, who's being hit on by Buddy the Elf. I'm not joking, this is literally just a Buddy the Elf costume. Anyway, Buddy the Elf informs us of a Christmas party that he's having tonight for all the mall workers. Yay!
Have you given any more thought to the party tonight? Everyone's coming.
You mean like the other elves, the Cinnabon crew?
That's exactly who I mean. All the cool kids.
And of course, Crystal stereotypically has no friends at school, and her mom and dad are divorced, and her mom hates her dad for some reason. But hey, who has time for friends or dads when you got work? That's right, Crystal works at the pet store. But quick, forget that, because apparently we're trying to introduce every character to ever have existed within the first 10 minutes. So, yeah, this is Mall Kiosk Lady and Paul Blart. And this security man is affectionately known as the Lady Killer. I mean, surely it's obvious how good he is with the ladies, right? Listen to this story that he tells Kiosk Lady to win her over.
Oh, yeah, the perp was 14, but he was big. I mean, he had, man muscles. Obviously, he pumped iron, of course, so do I. Anyway, something about his behavior didn't add up. He was lingering around the fancy jeans section too long, and between you and me, he didn't look like the kind of kid who could afford them. That profiling? Maybe. Did it work this time? You bet your butt it did.
That's right. This macho man roughed up a 14-year-old who was pretty buff for looking at a pair of fancy jeans the wrong way.
I mean, he tried to get away, but obviously I'm pretty agile, so...
That's the police force for you. So, back to the plot. On her way to work, Crystal runs into the usual popular bully girls that seem to always come in groups of 3. For some reason. And they call her out for the nerd she is.
Do we look like a bunch of nerds?
What a dork.
And then, would you believe it? More side characters! These radical bros are Zach and Donnie. Not to be confused with Zach and Cody. And they're just stupid. And that's it. That's it.
You know I got it! This ain't no funny!
Dude!
Oh, and they're in a band. But it turns out, they're the villains. The singing villains.
Yeah!
But more than any of those things, they are jewel thieves. Oh no. Or they were jewel thieves until they caught a glimpse of this $1 million dog. And I'm pretty sure they plan to steal it. So anyway, they make weird eye contact with the security man, and then Crystal meets a mall Santa, who is not the same mall Santa as before. Don't get confused, there are 2 mall Santas, and he gives her this magical coin to throw into the wishing well.
Is that chocolate?
No. You kidding me? That's a magical Christmas coin.
So she throws it in, and she makes a wish.
For my Christmas wish, I wish
I wish I'd meet a friend, one who listens to me and on whom I can depend.
So I guess some actual magic happened, because after this, she can talk to Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat can talk to her. They talk to each other.
It's you.
Who, me?
Say that again.
Okay, I don't know what's happening here, but I don't like it.
Okay, so I think everyone has been introduced now. So, to recap, Crystal works at the pet store in the mall that is in danger of going out of business. Grumpy Cat lives at this pet store and can magically talk to Crystal. To avoid eviction, the owner of the store is going to market this expensive dog, but now some robbers want to steal the dog, okay? And that's just the main plot. Crystal's mom and dad are divorced, and her mom is flirting with an elf that invited her to a Christmas party, and Crystal is new in town and has no friends at school, and Grumpy Cat is kind of just there. Moving on. So now, we're at the Elf Bros Christmas party, but Crystal just can't stop thinking about that darn cute talking cat. So she sneaks out. She hops on her bike and heads off to break into the mall. But yikes! Bad timing, I guess, because Marv and Harry, Zach and Cody, Zach and Dobby, Zach and Donnie, are also breaking into the mall. It's a small mall after all.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah, Paul Blart!
Hey, they stole my joke. I already called that guy Paul Blart. But after they tie up this guy, they head off to the pet store to try to steal the dog. All while spewing dialogue to make sure that the audience knows that they are really into rock music.
David Lee Roth, Gary Sharon, or Sammy Hagar?
Sammy Hagar is clearly Van Halen's best lead singer.
What? Gary Sharon blows that hack away.
Most people don't even know who Gary Sharon is.
How dare you minimize his contribution?
So they steal the dog with the dumb voice, but oh no, Edge left his keys in the pet store. And after an emotional monologue and a gruesome imaginary death scene, Crystal and Grumpy set out to get that expensive doggo back. But meanwhile, in the parking lot, the pro wrestling tag team is standing by their car, which is parked between the lines. Remember that. The car is parked between the lines, okay? And they are just now realizing that they don't have their keys.
Where are my keys? They're not here.
Good job, Kurt Cobain.
Nice looking out, Zach.
So they run back into the mall, only to find that their keys aren't where they left them. But right about as soon as they make this discovery, Crystal, being the genius that she is, sets off the motion sensors in Santaland, prompting the villains to realize that they're not alone.
We're not the only ones here.
Aliens.
So, what do you do when you're trying to rob a pet store and a big sound goes off and you realize that someone else is there with you? Well, of course, you walk right to where the sound is. Genius. Good thing that Crystal and Grumpy are quick, though, because they speed off into Bass Pro Shops.
Whoa! Oh man, I thought that was my mom.
Yee, but rats! 2MB are right behind them! And they start searching Bass Pro, but they can't find Crystal until Grumpy Cat, God bless her soul, gets distracted by a fish hook.
Shiny little fishy, shiny little fishy. Gotcha. Ow, ow, ow. Wait, hold on. Ow.
Now, with their cover blown, Crystal runs off and grabs a paintball gun, and she shoots Marv and Dobby in the butts. And in all this chaos, the expensive dog runs away, so no one knows where the expensive dog is. Edge then tries to retaliate with a bow and arrow, but ends up shooting himself in the foot. Get it? He's screaming like a singer, like he's singing, like Steven Tyler, like he's in a rock band, so he's screaming, like really, singery, because he's in a band. It's funny, get it? Anyway, while they're distracted with getting the arrow out of Edge's foot, our heroes escape. They run off and throw the car keys into the magical wishing well. Smart. But oddly enough, the landlord just shows up there in the middle of the night. I wonder if he has something to do with this whole affair. Certainly somebody who puts lights under their car has a nefarious plot up their sleeve. Nah, turns out he just wants to turn the pet store into a chicky nugget restaurant.
My company wants to get rid of that pet shop and put a club chicken in there. I love those sweet chicken nuggets.
But as Iron Weasel is interrogating the Chicky Nugget Man, Crystal is discovering the security guy and setting him free. But, of course, the dog just wanders in. How convenient. Now get ready. Fasten your seatbelts, folks, because here is the big twist. Okay, are you ready? Are you sitting down? Turns out, George the security guard was in cahoots with the robbers the whole time.
We're not calling the police, Crystal.
George, you devious scoundrel. You're the brains of this operation, aren't you? Look, I gotta say, I totally saw that coming.
Actually, it was his plan to steal the dog so he could just retire early. Not only is this a really weird twist, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, why call him names and tie him up if he was your boss? Why all the banter? Why would you unplug the monitors? Wouldn't this operation have gone a whole lot smoother if you had him sitting in that office, monitoring the cameras and talking to you over like a walkie-talkie or something? Why'd they do this? To make their lives more difficult? Why'd they call him Paul Blart? Was this part of the plan? Did they rehearse it? I don't know. Oh. But back to the plot. So they take Crystal and the cat to the pet store, and they tie him up, and they monologue to them.
Who rode around this mall on that stupid scooter, enforcing the law, but the whole time, all I was thinking about was breaking it.
Cops in a nutshell, really, like, bravo, bravo, great social commentary. This, the Grumpy Cat movie, bravo, A-cab. So the guy threatens to kill the cat, and this gets Crystal to tell the guys where the keys are. Naturally, this segues into a literal commercial for Grumpy Cat merch. I kid you not.
Like Grumpy Cat golf balls or the Grumpy Cat dartboard. And for the ladies, a surefire hit, Grumpy underwear.
But then, after Crystal does some actually really good crying on command, like wow, Grumpy Cat decides to rally up all the pets in the pet store. And they're gonna stop the bad guys. So they all get out of their cages, somehow, and they're gonna scare away the bad guys, like I said. So, the dog bites the security man's balls.
Oh, let go! Let go! Oh, let go! What are you...
I hope he didn't want children.
But even though they scare him off, he takes the dog with him, naturally. But he did drop his BlackBerry.
How fortunate.
Hurry, Crystal! Call the police! Oh, thank God. Wait. What? She called her mom? Crystal! Call the police! Your mom is busy! She's busy with a strange kazoo concert thing. Don't bother her! So Crystal explains the whole story to her mom, and then her mom notices, oh yeah, I didn't notice that Crystal left this weird party like an hour and a half ago. And she rushes down to the mall with Elfie by her side. Back at the mall, 3&B have retrieved the car keys. And Dobby tickles Blart's nut.
Good thing you didn't go commando, right?
They get out to their car and escape. And do you notice, the car is parked on the line now? Ha 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 ha! I got you, movie. A continuity error in this extremely quality film. Earlier that car was parked perfectly, and now it's not? Sloppy movie, sloppy! But anyway, don't fret, audience. Grumpy Cat and Crystal steal a Camaro. And Crystal, a 12-year-old girl, can apparently drive like Vin Diesel. It's crazy, but luckily, Mom and Elf Boy show up right on time.
We need to find a way in.
Crystal?
And like right when they get there, both of the cars crash. Only one is damaged, but look at this great shot. And that's why you should always wear your seatbelt. Don't worry though, Grumpy Cat is okay, thank God. The thieves are arrested, and Crystal gets Employee of the Month.
Could, make you Employee of the Month.
Really?
She adopts Grumpy Cat, and everyone lives happily ever after. So that was a movie? Honestly, I was expecting a lot worse. When a DVD sits on your shelf for 2 years, it kind of builds up a reputation in your mind. I was really expecting something horrendous, and this movie is definitely not that. Although, yes, it is a bad movie, don't get me wrong there. It knows what it is, and isn't even close to being as bad as some of the other stuff Lifetime has put out over the years. I feel like, this being Grumpy Cat's only film that was produced before her death, is probably as good as we could have hoped for. And it really, really could have been worse. To tell you the truth, it felt like if Home Alone and Paul Blart Mall Cop and the Air Buddies movies all had a baby. And hey, 1 out of those 3 movies is good. So thank you all for tuning in to this, the first episode of What's on the Shelf. Hopefully I'll make more of these in the future if this one does pretty decent. And even if it doesn't do decent, I'll probably end up making more. So subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you all in the next video.